It was just another long haul. A quiet, uneventful drive through the heart of Nebraska on Interstate 80. I'd driven this stretch so many times it practically lulled me to sleep. Same road, same mile markers, same late-night country radio, humming softly in the background. That night, October 18th, I was hauling a shipment from Cheyenne to Des Moines. Clear skies, full tank, midnight coffee cooling in the cup holder. I wasn't expecting anything unusual, just me, my rig, and the open road. Somewhere around mile marker 200, I noticed a weathered road sign with peeling paint that read, "Drive safe, spirits roam." I chuckled to myself. Just local lore. A scare tactic from the DOT, or some old-timer prank, I figured. But something about that sign clung to my mind like a fog. A heavy fog that settled in my chest and wouldn't lift. And a few miles later, everything changed. I was approaching mile marker 212 when I saw her. A girl. She stood on the shoulder, just past the edge of my high beams. Pale, motionless, long black hair hanging like wet threads. She wore a white dress that fluttered unnaturally in the still air. I hit the brakes, not hard, but enough to slow to a crawl. My headlights lit up the empty highway ahead, but she was gone. No sign of her, no cars pulled over, no footprints on the shoulder, just gone. I rubbed my eyes thinking maybe the road fatigue was playing tricks on me. Maybe the lights played shadows with the trees. But before I could touch the radio dial, crackle, my CB radio burst to life, shrieking with static before a distorted voice cut through. "Don't stop again." My blood ran cold. My hands went numb on the wheel. I yanked the cord out of the CB, heart pounding. The road stretched ahead, empty and silent, and that was only the beginning. When I finally made it to the next rest stop, I couldn't shake it, couldn't eat, couldn't drink. I asked a few fellow truckers if they'd ever seen anything strange near mile marker 212. Most shook their heads, dismissed me as just another rookie seeing things. But one old guy, beard down to his chest, gave me a long, tired look. The kind of look that says, "You're one of us now. You saw the girl, didn't you?" I nodded. "You ain't the first, won't be the last." He told me a story. Said a teenage girl had been hit by a semi in 1993. Middle of the night, she was walking for help after a fight with her boyfriend. Never made it past mile marker 212. Since then, every year on the same night, October 18th, drivers claimed to see her. Always the same. White dress, waving, then gone. And every single one hears the same warning on their radio. Don't stop again. That night, back in my cab, I couldn't sleep. I pulled out my phone and started digging. Old newspaper archives, local legends. And sure enough, there it was. Teen killed and hit and run on I-80 October 18, 1993. Her name was Lila Montgomery, 17 years old. Never identified the trucker who hit her. Something about her eyes in that photo haunted me. Like she knew, she wasn't done yet. I should have left it alone. But curiosity, it's a dangerous thing. The next year I made sure to take the same route. October 18th, same time, same stretch. I slowed as I neared mile marker 212. Midnight. The highway was dead quiet. Not a single other vehicle in sight. Then, there she was, standing just like before. Arm raised, slowly waving. Her dress seemed to shimmer under the moonlight. And her face, God, her face, wasn't human anymore. Pale, stretched too thin. Hollow eyes staring right through me. I didn't stop. I couldn't. But my radio turned on by itself. You came back. Her voice. Not static. Not interference. Clear. Cold. Then the engine sputtered. Lights flickered. My rig slowed. Against my will. And then, she was at my window, inches away. Her mouth didn't move, but I heard her voice in my head like a whisper from inside my skull. You didn't listen. The world around me seemed to freeze. Time, sound, everything vanished except her and me. Then, like a switch flipped, the engine roared back to life. She was gone. I pulled over at the nearest diner. hands shaking so bad I could barely hold a cup. That's when I met him. A man in his 40s, eyes red-rimmed and tired. He stared at me for a long moment, then said, "Did you see her too?" We talked for hours. He told me his father was the one who hit Lila, a trucker. Never turned himself in. He confessed to his son on his deathbed, and ever since, the son had been seeing her, every year. And now me. She marks the ones who come too close, the ones who dig. He warned me. You're part of her story now. She doesn't forget. I laughed nervously, trying to brush it off. But when I got back to my truck, the windshield had fogged up from the inside, and written across it, "One more year. It's been 3 years. Each October she returns." I don't need a calendar anymore. I feel it in my bones. The air turns colder. The sky darkens early. And I hear the hum of my CB crackle, long before I turn it on. Last year, she didn't wait by the highway. She was in my rearview mirror. I haven't told my family. Haven't told my dispatcher. Hell, maybe I'm losing it. But part of me knows this is real. I tried skipping the route this year. Stayed home. Locked the doors. Didn't matter. I woke up at 2:12 a.m. My radio turned on by itself. And her voice whispered again, "Don't stop again. If you're a trucker, if you ever find yourself near mile marker 212 on Interstate 80, keep driving. Don't slow down. And whatever you do, don't look her in the eyes." You ever get that feeling? Like your body's tired, but your mind is too wired to sleep? That was me. Just another long-haul night, cutting across the barren highways of Utah with nothing but static on the radio and the hum of the engine for company. I'd been driving straight since Idaho Falls. My destination was Flagstaff, but somewhere along Interstate 15, exhaustion started creeping in. I knew better than to fight it. That's how accidents happen. So when I saw the sign, "Rest stop 2 miles," I let out a sigh of relief. The place was empty. A cracked parking lot, one flickering overhead light, and a set of rundown restrooms off to the side. The desert night was still, eerily so. No wind, no insects, just silence pressing in from all sides. I pulled in, parked beside a rusted-out vending machine, and killed the engine. Checked the doors, locked the windows. Routine stuff. Before drifting off, I remember glancing at the time. 2:46 a.m. That's when I noticed something odd. There was an old, faded flyer taped to the restroom door, torn at the edges. I squinted in the dark. Something about missing person, last seen here. I figured it was outdated. I should have left right then. But fatigue weighed down my eyelids, and even though the place gave off a strange vibe, the idea of sleeping in my cab felt safer than pushing through another hour on the road. I reclined my seat, cracked the window slightly to let in some air, and let my eyes close. That sign on the restroom door lingered in my mind longer than it should have, its torn corner fluttering like a warning I chose to ignore. The dreamless kind of sleep hit me hard, but it didn't last. A whisper. That's what pulled me out of it. Faint, but frantic. Like someone pleading softly just outside the truck. I froze, heart racing. My first thought, maybe someone else pulled in. Another trucker. But when I peeked out the driver's side window, the lot was still empty. No movement, no lights, no cars. And yet, there it was again, whispering, closer now. I couldn't make out the words, but the tone. It chilled me. Desperate, almost mournful. I leaned over and checked the passenger side window. Nothing. Just the dull orange glow of that one sad light in the lot. Then came the knock. 3 soft taps on the passenger side door. Tap. 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 I jumped, grabbing the flashlight from the glove compartment and shining it out the window. Empty. I tried the door. Still locked. I even hit the horn just in case someone was playing a prank. No response. Only silence. I should have driven off. But I didn't. I sat there, heart pounding, waiting. The whispers stopped, and I thought that was the end of it. But something about that silence wasn't right. It wasn't natural silence. It was the kind of stillness that feels watched. I didn't sleep after that. I just sat there staring into the shadows of the rest stop, trying to convince myself it was nothing. Just wind, just fatigue, just something explainable. I almost believed it until I looked at the time again, 3:03 a.m. Morning light came slowly. My body felt stiff and uneasy, like I hadn't slept at all. But what stuck with me was that voice, the way it whispered like it knew me. Before pulling back onto the road, I checked the dashcam footage. I always keep it running overnight, part habit, part insurance. At first it was normal, just me parking, engine off, then nothing for a while. Until 3:03 a.m. Right then, the screen flickered, and a face, a pale, expressionless face, stared directly into the camera for exactly 3 seconds. No blinking, no movement, just watching. Then the footage went black, corrupted. I tried playing it back, rewinding. Nothing. The file was unrecoverable. I couldn't shake it. Who or what was that? I called a tech buddy back in Phoenix to see if he could retrieve the file remotely. I emailed him what little data I had. He called me back an hour later, whispering like he didn't want to be heard. Dude, that footage, it's been rewritten, like something embedded into it. He sent me a screen cap. The last frame before the video cut out. Behind the pale face were hundreds of handprints, pressed against the glass from the inside. I stared at the image for a long time. Every handprint looked smeared, as if trying to claw out of something. The longer I looked, the more it felt like the image was moving, breathing. I closed the file and deleted it. But that face, I still saw it when I closed my eyes. I made it to Flagstaff, but I didn't go straight home. I started digging. Turns out that rest stop I pulled into. It had been shut down for months after a series of strange disappearances. The state quietly reopened it, but only truckers knew the real story. An old forum thread told of a girl who vanished there in 1993, last seen by her father while she waited in their truck. He came back from the restroom. She was gone. Doors locked, windows sealed, no signs of struggle, except a whisper. Locals called her the Pale Watcher, said she appears at 3:03 a.m., the hour of her death. And if she locks eyes with you, you're marked. They say she doesn't take you right away. She watches, follows, waits for you to forget. I didn't believe it, until I saw her again. 3 nights later, parked outside a diner in Arizona, I was checking my mirrors before hitting the road, and there she was, standing at the edge of the parking lot. Same pale face, same dead stare, just waiting. She didn't move, she didn't blink, just stood there like a statue carved from bone. When I turned to grab my phone to snap a photo, she was gone, vanished. But the air in the cab turned cold. My breath fogged up the inside of the glass, even though it was 70 degrees outside. And written in the condensation, 3 words. You saw me. I panicked, drove like hell, didn't stop for miles. But no matter where I went, California, Colorado, even Texas, I'd catch glimpses, in the distance, in reflections, on my dashcam, always at 3:03 a.m. I finally went back to Utah, to the rest stop. I needed answers. What I found made my stomach turn. Tucked beneath a loose tile inside the restroom was an old camcorder, covered in dust. Inside it, a tape dated October 12th, 1993. The footage showed a man, crying, shaking, staring at the lens. He whispered, "She won't stop, not until someone else sees her." He looked straight into the camera. "I'm sorry." And then, the screen cut to static. But for a single frame, I saw his reflection in the mirror behind him. And behind him, her, the Pale Watcher. That brief moment, it froze my blood. Her face was closer this time. not staring at him, but through the mirror, at me. Even through the grainy old tape, her eyes looked like they knew who I was, like she'd been waiting. I destroyed the camcorder, burned it, thought it would end it. But now I realize. I saw her on my dash cam. I watched her, and that's all it takes. Last night, I unplugged every camera, every phone, covered every mirror. Still, at 3:03 a.m., I heard it, a whisper, from the hallway. She's inside now. I don't know how long I have, if you're watching this. And you saw her face in the frame. I'm sorry, you weren't supposed to see her. But now you did, and she knows. She always knows. Even if you close your eyes, she'll still find you in the dark. She doesn't need light. She doesn't need time. She only needs that one moment, the moment you see her. So if you're alone tonight, and your clock hits 3:03, don't look up, because if you do, you won't be alone anymore.